Pwalugu, a small, decent, and relatively quiet town in the Talense district of the Upper East region. This town is famous for the defunct Pwalugu tomato factory and now the failed Pwalugu multipurpose dam project. But what many may not be aware of is how difficult it is for some of the residents of Pwalugu to get water for their homes. This is the Anogolayu suburb of Pwalugu. For the people who live here, getting water to do anything is tantamount to going on a hunt. It is approaching midday, and Wilson Abba, one of the residents here, goes in search of water for his family, accompanied by his 4-year-old daughter. Wilson had hoped that this stream, about 600 meters behind his house, would have some water, but he is not lucky today. The water that used to be here has dried up because there has been no rain for over 2 weeks. Wilson must go further in his search. Finally, he arrives at another stream a little over a kilometer away from his house. This one contains some stagnant, milky water. Not the kind of water you would imagine humans using, but for the residents in this part of Pwalugu, this has become normal for them.
We drink it, we use it for cooking, we use it for a lot. If you have nothing to do about the cleanness of the water, all you can see is that it's okay. For Anogolayu area here, I don't think we have a well or borehole. Our source of water we get is mostly around the stream here. The people staying around Anogolayu area, we are many, up to 200 or 300.
The animals too come here to drink. Wilson takes the water home to his wife, who immediately uses it to wash their dishes.
A lot of people have been falling sick because it's very, very dirty and you can't drink that water. But sometimes when there is no water, you have to force and take it that way. You can get cholera from there. Stomach pains, you can get it from there. Typhoid, you can get it from there. Sometimes we do move to the police training school to fetch water there. But when you go there and the students are overcrowded there, they don't allow us to fetch water there.
Many of the residents here also create dugouts near their homes for water.
I did it personally because I believe that would serve closer to my house. Lucky enough, there was water. A day it could serve up to 100 people. But the support that will help this make it a permanent well or a permanent borehole is not there. So when it happens, so the first rain that came washed a lot of dirt into it, so that one is closed.
Assemblyman for the Pwalugu electoral area, Moses Adongo, says water scarcity is a problem affecting the entire Pwalugu township.
The population of Pwalugu is within 5,000 to 6,000 as we speak today. And there are over 1,000 people suffering on water. Because if you go to Kukong area, they suffer with water. If you go to Akari area, towards the Balungu road, they suffer with water. 2014 that they came to make community development water. But the supply of the water isn't enough. Now that we are struggling with assembly to see if we can get a borehole.
For now, the people of Anogolayu here in Pwalugu continue to depend largely on the dirty water from their streams and dugouts until an intervention arrives. Albert Sori, Joy News, Pwalugu.
So that's our Safe Water series from Pwalugu, and I've been joined by Thomas Doanab, the DCE for the area. Thomas, thank you for joining us. Thomas, if you can hear me, please unmute. Thomas Doanab, DCE for... I don't think we have Thomas on the line, but Albert Sorry, who is our Upper West Regional Correspondent who brought us the story, is also joining us on Zoom. And so let's engage Albert, and then later on we'll bring in the DCE. Albert, good morning. Barka de Sala to you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Great. So how long has this issue been going on? How long has this water crisis been going on?
Well, from what the residents are telling me, it's been happening since the beginning of time. It's been like that as far as they can remember. So it's something that has been there for many, many years, because Pwalugu as a town generally has water issues. Not everybody is able to easily get access to clean, safe drinking water.
And from the video we watched, the woman talked about how, you know, they are prone to diseases, cholera and so forth because of the condition, the state of the water that they're drinking. What are authorities saying about this?
Yeah, so as you heard from the assemblyman, they have been trying very hard to get more boreholes for the residents in the areas where getting water is a very big challenge, like the one we covered in the story. One of the things he told us about the challenge they face is that even when they are able to secure contracts for the drilling of boreholes, there is a limit to which the borehole drilling companies can go in terms of how far they drill into the earth. And once they get to that limit and they cannot get water, then they have to stop. Now, in the case of Pwalugu, what he says is that the water table is very deep, and most of the borehole drilling companies are not willing, when they are contracted, to go further than their required limit when they are drilling. So most of the time, even when they bring people, when they are able to secure funds for the drilling of boreholes, they drill and they drill and they drill, and they don't get to any water below the ground, and sometimes they give up and they have to stop. And it has been one of the very big challenges that they have. Although they have a town community water system, not everybody is able to get to it, because, I mean, this is an area or a town that has about 5,000 people. So just one town water system is not enough.
All right.
That is the big challenge.
Albert, hold for me. Thomas Doanab is back, the DCE for Talensi. He's back on the line with us. Thomas, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. So this has been going on for a while. It looks like the entire town is dry. You cannot find water. What are you doing about it? What are the authorities saying about it? And really, what's the way forward?
Thank you very much. And well, there has been several efforts. If you look at where Pwalugu is, it's a bit far from Pwalugu, which is the nearest town with access to underground water. And since 2020, there has been a mechanized distributed borehole from there into an overhead tank in Pwalugu, and that is redistributed to the people. Okay? So that is what we have been doing. But the way it is, the place is getting populated, and all that we need to do is maybe have to create more points.
When you say the place is getting populated, how do you mean? You mean more people, less water?
The town is growing. That is where we have the police training depot. And then there are other visitors because of the mining. So
the mining.
town is growing. Yeah, because we have mining taking place in the area. So the point is, because the population is growing, we may have to increase the number of boreholes that would carry water into the overhead tank for them. There's a water reservoir that they use.
But Albert was just telling us that even when contractors try to drill the boreholes to a certain point, they cannot go further than the standard that they work by because, I mean...
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, underground water is not readily available in Pwalugu, but the adjoining community is Pwalugu. And we have used Pwalugu to feed Pwalugu on a community-based water system. So what I'm saying is we may have to drill other boreholes and direct onto that one so that we'll increase the water flow to be able to serve the whole community. Yeah.
Will that suffice? Is that sustainable?
Well, that
is that
what,
a long-term solution to the water
crisis? That is
crisis?
what has been going on. If the overhead tanks are working, normally in the rainy season it's not too bad. It is in the dry season that they are hard hit with water issues. But in the rainy season, the water table comes up, and they are able to pump water all the time for the community.
All right. So in the interim, what mechanisms are in place to ensure that you at least clean up the water from the streams and dugouts a bit before residents consume this water?
Well, it has never been part of the general administration to go and clean streams. No. I don't
I know you cannot clean streams, Thomas. What I'm asking is I know you cannot clean the streams. What I'm asking is, even what you're seeing on your screen right now, someone is going to fetch water from the stream and it's dirty. Do you have any mechanism, any system to process this water, clean it up a bit before they drink it? Because this is just drinking diseases for themselves. That's the question I'm asking.
I may have to engage the assemblyman from the area for us to look at what is going on. Because I do not know where they fetch water from. All that I know is we have done this borehole that feeds into the overhead, and we believe that everybody is taken from there. But obviously, there are other settlements that are very far from where the water is. So if they are not having access to the community water, then we may have to look at it. So I would engage the assemblyman to come and we have a discussion on it.
Are you saying you're oblivious to the fact that some people fetch water from streams and dugouts?
I am not aware because the district is a very wide district and people are fetching from streams, maybe because boreholes are very far from their homes. I wouldn't know.
All right.
You would appreciate that not even, it's maybe because we dwell in the city centers and urban centers. Too many people don't drink from taps and boreholes now. So drinking water has always been they buy sachet water all over the place.
Hold for me,
Thomas. We don't have the
Thomas.
same economy.
Hold for me. Let me bring in Albert, sorry, briefly before I let you go. Albert, so Thomas is saying that he's unaware that people fetch water from streams like we saw in the video. And that's something he's not aware of because the district is big. What do you make of what he's saying?
Well, I think that yes, Talensi is a very big district. And looking at where this community is, it is possible that he may not have encountered the situation that this particular community in particular is facing. But the assemblyman, before we got to this community, we called him and we told him that we were coming to look at the water situation because when we were doing this, we made calls, and this was one of the communities that people who are aware of pointed us to. So the assemblyman, when he called us on the phone, we just told him where we were, and he was able to locate the place and come there. So yes, maybe the DC at the top is not aware, but the assemblyman is very much aware of what's happening, and he was there in the community with us when we were interacting with the family, that featured in the story.
All right. Thank you so much, Albert Sorry, our Upper East Regional Correspondent, and Thomas Donab, the DC for Talensi, for bringing us those details and updates on our Safe Water series that took you to Pwalugu in the Upper East region to see how residents are struggling to get potable water. There's still some work to come before we wrap up for today. Stay with me. I'll be right back.